Watch Awesome Video Game Memories on Amazon Prime for exclusive episodes and extra content. Link down below in the description. Welcome to Awesome Video Game Memories, where we talk about awesome memories about video games. I'm Ryan, and the game we're going to talk about today is Final Fight! Yeah! So the immortal arcade classic, Final Fight, which was supposed to be the final battle, the last showdown, but we all know that final in video games means nothing because there's so many sequels to Final Fight and Final Fantasy. But yes, Final Fight is actually the first fight! Mind blown! So my first exposure to Final Fight was actually not the arcade version because I never saw Final Fight in the arcades. Even to this day, I still have not seen Final Fight in the arcades. I played the Super Nintendo version first, and I didn't exactly play the Final Fight arcade version until I downloaded it for MAME, and then I bought all those compilations that came out for the PS2 and PS3. Yeah, so playing the original arcade version of Final Fight is definitely not difficult, but most of my exposure as a kid was to the Super Nintendo version, which I played endlessly. The story of Final Fight is former wrestler Mike Haggar becomes the mayor of crime-ridden Metro City. Because cities called Metro City are always filled with crime in video games and television, especially in the 80s and 90s. I think people should start moving away from Metro City. So after Mike Haggar becomes the mayor of Metro City, the evil Mad Gear gang, which controls all of the crime in the city, are like, so Mike, we're gonna send you quite a bit of money, basically bribing you, so you can look the other way just like the other mayor did. Yep, the previous mayor was a corrupt politician. I wonder who it was. But because Haggar refuses, they kidnap his daughter Jessica. Oh no, what did they do to her? So Jessica's boyfriend Cody and Cody's buddy Guy, along with Mayor Mike Haggar, go through the slums of Metro City in order to get Jessica back. Now, one thing about the Super Nintendo version that pretty much everybody talked about was, where the fuck was the two-player? Of course, I do understand Final Fight for the Super Nintendo was a very early Super Nintendo game. I think it was one of the launch titles, I'm not sure, but it was definitely one of the early games, and I assume Capcom didn't exactly have the time to figure out how to make it two-player, because, two-player games, especially Final Fight, because the two-player was kind of a staple of the series in the arcade, and not having two-player was kind of like, okay. So I can imagine households in 1991 were like, well, sorry, I'm playing Final Fight now, but isn't it two-player? No! And also in the arcade version, you had three characters to play as, Guy, Cody, and Haggar, but in the Super Nintendo version, we're missing somebody. We're missing some kind of guy. What's his name? Oh, Guy! And of course, due to Capcom's limitations with the first Final Fight game on the Super Nintendo, Guy is totally excluded, but he is playable in another version called Final Fight Guy, which was only available in Blockbuster Video, which I never saw, even though I went to Blockbuster Video quite often. So in Final Fight, you traverse through 6 levels! Wait, this is 5. Oh wait, the Super Nintendo only had 5 levels, I'm sorry. 5 levels in the Super Nintendo version and 6 levels in the original arcade version. So just beating up those dirty Mad Gear gang members off the streets in order to rescue your precious Jessica. And there were quite a lot of changes from the arcade version to the Super Nintendo version. And of course, aside from the missing level and Guy missing, so there were some female thugs named Roxy and Poison who were actually replaced with like 2 generic Guy villains, because probably Capcom was thinking, beating women is bad. Well, it is, but you have Chun-Li in Street Fighter. One of my favorite things about the Super Nintendo version of Final Fight is Cody and Haggar, when they actually do like a special attack, they go, yeah, yeah. And back when I was a kid, I used to say, yeah, yeah. I used to answer questions, yeah, yeah. I never get tired of saying, yeah. So Ryan, do you like Final Fight? Yeah. So you beat up a variety of thugs, a bunch of thugs just kind of sitting there minding their own business. You just have to be assholes and beat the shit out of them because, they're part of the Mad Gear gang. And then after that, you got thugs, in radiation jackets who are really fast. And then you have, the Elvis lookalikes who block all your fucking hits and hit you really hard, which really sucks. And then you got the big fat dudes like G. Oriber, Bill Bull, and Wong Hu. Oh man, when you throw these guys into each other, that must fucking hurt. And then you got El Gato and Hollywood. You know what, Hollywood? I'm gonna kick your ass back to Hollywood. Oh crap, Hollywood's packing some heat, man, with all those flaming Molotov cocktails. Holy shit. And then you have the Ondors, totally based on Andre the Giant, God bless his soul. You fight your way through the slums, the subway, nightclubs, the Bay Area, and Uptown. Oh wait, I forgot, there's also an industrial zone. And also you have these bonus stages where you have to trash a car, which was repeated in Street Fighter 2. I just got this new car and I can't open it, so I just have to smash it. Oh, I'm sorry, dude. Oh my god. Although in the arcade version it's, oh my god. And then you have the other bonus stage where you have to break glass panes, which actually kind of hit you back, which really sucks, but whatever. And you fight a variety of crazy bosses in Final Fight, from Thrasher, aka Damned. Well, Thrasher's pretty damned anyways. Don't you like him, Mon? And then you have to fight Sodom, well, renamed Katana, but I prefer Sodom, who's actually really, really fucking hard in this game. So he fights you in an arena with swords to the death. After that, you fight corrupt cop Edie, who drops his gum and restores your health. Tasty. Cop gum. It's filled with justice. And of course, if you're playing the arcade game, you fight Rolento, but if you're playing the Super Nintendo game, you fight Abigail. Hey, Abigail. Oh, I'm calling you Abigail. That's a girl's name. Holy shit. Oh god, Abigail's really fucking hard. And at the end of the game, you fight Mr. Horace Belger. Oh, hey, wait. He looks like the most refined member of the Mad Gear gang. Well, because he's obviously the leader. Who fights you in his wheelchair, and then he jumps up and fights you with his crossbow and arrow. And of course, throughout the game, you can restore your health with food found in oil barrels. I assume this food is very, very clean, right? If you actually hide food in oil barrels. Oh hey, they're hiding gold bars and jewels in barrels. Man, the Mad Gear gang thinks of everything. And I do admit, when I first played this game on the Super Nintendo, the bosses of this game were pretty hard, actually starting with Katana, aka Sodom. I remember Edie being pretty hard because he had the gun. Abigail was one tough motherfucker despite his name. You can't exactly walk up to Abigail and grab him or punch him because he gets like really pissed, like Bald Bull, and tramples you over. Like what I had to do with Abigail is I had to go up to the top of the screen and use my special whenever he got close, and then go back to the bottom of the screen and use my special when he gets close, and kind of repeat it. But that does cost you a lot of life, so you might want to have a lot of lives fighting Abigail, hopefully. And also, I remember Belger, like, it was kind of hard to beat him with Cody because you can actually punch away his arrows, but he's actually kind of hard to hit himself. But because Cody can't exactly grab Belger, but actually Haggar can grab Belger, which makes it really, really easy to beat him. And of course, Rolento, who is missing from the Super Nintendo version, is actually pretty fast and he's pretty hard to beat, but if you're playing any of the arcade compilations, you pretty much get unlimited lives. So after you punch Belger out the window and he goes splat, you reunite with Jessica, but Cody leaves and says, "I'm sorry, Jessica, I wish I could stay here, but I can't rest while evil still roams the streets." And that pretty much what leads Cody to his life of being a convict in later games. So Final Fight for the Super Nintendo and the arcade, does it still hold up today? In my opinion, yes it does. Because Final Fight is an awesome arcade classic where you brawl through the streets, and I absolutely love the music in this game. Like, the music just fits so well with the ruined city atmosphere, the whole slum music. Yeah, I'm walking through South Central LA, man. Bring it on, Compton. The memorable bosses, the memorable characters, the memorable gameplay. Yeah, actually with my Super Nintendo, I had a turbo controller, so like Cody was doing like machine gun punches. I used to like love backing myself up in the corner, just like unleashing punches and just having all the enemies just walk into the punches and shit. Oh, that was amazing. But also there was a Sega CD version which had CD quality audio and voiceover, which sounded kind of like a cross between 80s dubbed anime and a porno. I shit you not. Just listen.
Guy, Jessica was kidnapped.
Jessica?
My sweetheart since childhood.
The Mad Gear must pay. She's my friend too. Count me in.
And it also had an awesome time attack. And there was also a Game Boy Advanced version which actually had the characters have dialogue, and you can also unlock Street Fighter Alpha Cody and Guy. Yes, Cody in his prisoner outfit. Final Fight on the go. Final Fight is a true arcade classic which still holds up to this day, and I highly recommend you play it. And you can get Final Fight for the Super Nintendo 3DS Virtual Console. You can buy it on a whole variety of Capcom compilations. I mean, it's really hard to miss this game, and I highly recommend getting whatever version you can, but mostly the arcade version. But stay away from Final Fight Guy unless you're a collector, because it's a bit expensive. Alright guys, so that wraps up this episode of Awesome Video Game Memories about Final Fight. And is Final Fight awesome? Yeah! This video has been brought to you by A Winner Is You, the funniest video game quotes with snarky commentary. Buy the book now at the link below. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, especially subscribe, and make sure to click on that notification bell so you know when we release new videos, cause YouTube won't tell you. And if you want to see me stream games, you can follow me on twitch.tv/BattleGeekPlus or mixer.com/BattleGeekPlus. And if you have a Twitch Prime subscription, you can subscribe to BattleGeek Plus on Twitch for awesome perks like emotes and subscriber badges. Also, make sure to support BattleGeek Plus at Patreon at patreon.com/Ryan Molina, because every dollar helps me bring you a better show. And make sure to follow me on Twitter at @RyanMolina and at BattleGeek Plus. And make sure to check out the BattleGeek Plus website for BattleGeek Plus merchandise, books, and a lot more.